Hey, I'm Pastor Ben, and I'm here with day number 2 of our 21 days of prayer and fasting. And I'm excited to read to you today from the book of 2 Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7. It says, "For God did not give us a spirit of fear or timidity, but a spirit of power, love, and self-discipline." This verse speaks to us about fear, and it makes me think of a joke I heard several years ago from Jerry Seinfeld, who said that thinking about fear in our lives, most people, the thing they're most afraid of is public speaking. The second thing they're most afraid of is death. Death is number 2. And so he joked that the average person attending a funeral would rather be in the casket than giving the eulogy. Kind of a funny view, a funny approach when it comes to some of our fears in life. But it's true that there's a lot of things that we are afraid of. Simple things on a daily basis like, man, I'm afraid I'm going to be late today for something. Or something more important like, oh man, my company is going through layoffs, and what if I lose my job? Something really significant like getting a health diagnosis that we don't want to hear. Or, man, it seems like every day, every week, there's some sort of new rumor of a war that's going to be starting somewhere around. Right? So there are things that come up in life that we might be afraid of. In the context of this passage, Paul is writing to his protege, Timothy, about his spiritual life and things to not be afraid of there. Things like, man, maybe I'm not sure what to pray about, or how to share the gospel, or really the best way to live out my faith. I don't know where you find yourself today, of any of those things that you might be afraid of. But I think this verse, it's not really telling us, I don't think it's saying that we can't be afraid of certain things, but I think it's telling us we have different ways we can respond. One way we can respond is to allow fear to really overtake us or to consume us, where we feel like we need to stand up and be really tall and strong and handle whatever is coming at us. The other option it gives us is to let us know that God is in control and that he has resources for us that allow us to face this fear in our lives. Things like power, love, and self-discipline. Power that enables us to holy living. Love that God has poured out for us. And self-discipline, I love this last one, self-discipline. There's different translations that will call it things like self-control, or having a sound mind, or using sound judgments. It's the idea of when we are faced with some sort of adversity or panic, we still have control. I love that, having control even in the face of panic. This is some of the resources that God has for us. The circumstances vie for our attention, they get in the way of that. And so I think it's important that we get this reminder today that there are 2 different options for us. There's a couple things we can do to respond to this. One involves our thoughts. We can choose to focus our thoughts on the circumstances that are around us, or we can focus our thoughts on our God, who is bigger than any struggle we will come up against. And along with our thoughts, we can choose to trust. We can trust that God knows what's best and that he is in control and that he deeply cares and loves for us. I hope today that you can find rest and comfort in knowing that God is in control and that he offers us peace no matter what circumstances or struggles we might go up against in our lives. I hope you have a blessed day.